Hi, this is Matthew. Welcome back to my rock shop, and welcome back to Making Marbles with Matthew. Today I'm going to make two marbles for an order I received that are made out of Tennessee flint. And these are going to be for a fellow that plays Rolley Hole back there in Tennessee. And I want to just take a minute and explain what makes this stone such a great stone for making marbles. First of all, it really isn't flint. It's a type of chert that forms in a nodule. So it sort of forms like a flint, but more than anything, it's more like a pseudomorph. Because what it is it's like a geode that forms in the limestone rocks there, and then the calcium is replaced with silica. And that's what I think it is, because when I see these geodes, they have like little, in the middle they'll have like this round type of, it looks like quartz, little quartz balls, but quartz doesn't form like that. Calcium does. Calcium will form like little tiny pearls. And let me show you what I mean. Okay, here's a good example of what I'm talking about. Now this is all silica dioxide. That's what chert and the family of cherts of things is made like agate, flint, petrified wood, and other microcrystalline structures. And what gives them color is little bits of other metallic minerals inside there. Now generally when you get a pure silica dioxide geode, this part inside here is a quartz crystal, and we call it druzy. But when it's formed as a crystal inside of a geode, it'll be like we'll call it dog's tooth crystal, because it's sharp and pointed, and it has your typical quartz crystalline structure that's like a six-sided tetrahedron. But this is more like little tiny cave pearls. And so my only explanation of how this could be formed like this would be that this geode, and here's another example, and I have a round one because this would have been hollow in this side, and then it would have been like this, and then this would have broken apart, you know, after a long time of bouncing down a stream bed or a creek bed or something like that, or just finally breaks apart, and would have exposed this structure on the inside. But it would have been solid at one point like this. As a matter of fact, occasionally you find them and you cut them inside, and this is what it looks like. Now I've cut some apart. I cut one apart that was a small one, and it had these little pearls in there that were loose, and you could hear it rattling. And when I cut it apart, it was really cool. And I didn't use it for anything. Matter of fact, I gave it back to the friend that gave it to me. I said, hey, you got to have this. I don't need it. I can't use it to make marbles with, but you'll like this cool little geode that has those little pearls in there. Now I've seen this kind of stuff with calcium carbonate, which is basically what cave formations are made out of, and other formations that you find while you're out rock hounding. But it's a calcium carbonate, or a calcium formation, and it forms these little tiny pearls, and some people might call them cave pearls. And then a pseudomorph is when this is formed out of calcium, and then the silica replaces the calcium over years and years and years and years of the silica-rich minerals seeping through the limestone, and then the calcium gets washed away by acidity, and then the silica is formed. And that's what I think it is. I'm not really sure. I've never seen one formed. But what makes it so strong is that this structure right here, as it gets filled up with silica, is really, really hard, but this gives it like an internal structure that makes it really, really tough. So it's not really what I would call a true flint, because a flint grows from the inside out, and often flint has fossils in it this doesn't have fossils in it. This is more like a geode. And so it's not really what you would call a true flint, because a flint forms like a kidney or a kidney stone, and it starts out small and then gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it builds up layer after layer of the microcrystalline structure of the silicon dioxide. Anyways, I got 2 of these nice cubes. I'm going to make a couple of 3/4 inch marbles that are going to be 0.740, not quite 3/4 of an inch, a little bit smaller, because that's the size he wants. And they're super good stuff and should hold up for years of playing Rolley Hole. So let's get started. Oh, by the way, there's been quite a few people that have commented on my caps. I make these caps myself, and it's just a new hobby I kind of picked up because I wanted some nice flat caps. And I couldn't find any in my area. I could find some online, but they're all made in China. I didn't want a Chinese made cap. So I looked up online, watched some YouTube videos, and over the last 4-5 months, I started making flat caps. If you would like a custom made flat cap, go see my website on Etsy. It's called Foothill Shadow Caps. And I got the little label right there. There's my little label. Foothill Shadow Caps. Tailored in the USA. Super well made. Most of them I make out of either silk, wool blend, 100% wool, or 100% silk. And this just happens to be one of the ones I like to wear all the time. It's lightweight, it's great for summer, and it looks great. Anyways, Foothill Shadow Caps for finding your own custom flat cap. Be great for any of you marble players. Okay, to get started on these marbles, I'm going to go over here to my roughing wheel. I'm just going to show you little clips of this because I'm not going to go through the whole explanation. If you want to see how I make a marble and it has the whole explanation, I have a 4-part series. You can go watch those videos. Just look in my videos that I have, and it's part 1, 2, 3, and 4 on how to make a marble. I go through the whole thing. You can watch my other videos that I have where I show you how I make other marbles, and I have more explanation in there. Alright, I finished these two Rolley Hole shooters out of Tennessee Flint, and they turned out beautiful. One is .736737, another one is .739, about just a little bit less than .740, and that's what he wanted, .740. So they're all been smoothed out and polished, and so they're really nice and smooth. They're a little bit dusty, but super nice. Let me get you a close-up of this. They're just super nice marbles. Anyways, thanks for joining me and making some more marbles, and always fun. I'm really excited that these get to be used in playing Rolley Hole. A lot of times I just sell them as collector's pieces, and that's mainly what I carry around. It's just ones to collect with, but these are work marbles. They're going to be going to work, winning some games, and hopefully some tournaments. So I wanted to show you something that I learned watching a YouTube video about jade that they sell over in China, and they're using a really powerful light. Well, I don't have one of those real powerful lights, but what I do have is I have a little laser pointer here, and I've discovered that I can detect flaws in this translucent stone using one of these little laser pointers. This is actually a laser sight. But if you'll notice, there's no shadows in there. What I mean by shadow is the whole thing glows. If there was a flaw in it, like a crack, what it would do is it would stop there, and one part would be dark and one part would be light. But this whole thing just glows really nicely. So I know that there's no flaws in that one. Let's look at this one. Same thing. There's some dark spots in there where it's not super translucent, but there's no shadows. I'll show you what I mean by a shadow. I'll get another piece that intentionally has a flaw in it. But this is also a really nice marble. No flaws in it at all. Okay, here's a stone that has some flaws in it. And what I want to show you that I've learned how to detect whether there's a flaw in there or not. This has a crack in there, and as you can see, one part of the stone is glowing, and then it stops right where that crack is. I hope you can see that. But there's a big crack right down through here, and it glows right up to that crack. And because there's a crack, the light doesn't really penetrate through the translucent stone and through the crack and then through the other part of the stone. It just stops right there. You see that? So this part is translucent, and this part is translucent, but it's got that crack in there. You see that? And that crack basically goes through the whole stone. So this would still make a good marble, a nice decorative marble, and even one that you can play with, but eventually this whole thing would fall right in half and break in half. That's why I have it over here in my pile of stones that are basically rejects. This would be a good one. You know, this has got a dark spot on there, and that's not a crack. That dark part is like the skin that's not super translucent, but most of that would get ground off because it's a big chunk, and this also would make a really nice marble. Anyways, thanks for joining me. That was a little lesson there on how to figure out the flaws. Have a great day. Bye.